We've been involved here at Inverness Castle for almost 2 years now, helping the Highland Council and High Life Highland to transform these buildings into a new visitor attraction. It's a site that has a history that spans back at least 700 years and well beyond. Relatively recently, at the end of last year, we made applications for planning consent and listed building consent, and it was a big milestone for us recently in obtaining those. We're just also finishing off an enabling contract, and I'm going to take you around and show you some of what's been going on. We're stood now in front of the main front door to Inverness Castle, and you can see very grand front door right on the central axis of the esplanade as you approach. But what's amazing is that up until very recently, if you opened these front doors, you would see the back of a plasterboard partition. The room behind was converted into a courtroom, and they lost that main entrance. And that's a big part of what we're doing in the project, is to reopen the doors, make this the front door to Inverness Castle once again for all the public to enter the building this way. So as part of the enabling contract, we've taken away all of the plasterboard finishes that were on all of these walls. A big moment for us and a big moment for me was when we revealed the front doors behind me. And we're delighted to find that all the original features associated with that are still intact. We found lots of other original features in here too that we weren't expecting to find. So there's original timber dado panelling on all the walls, and there are original stone flags below my feet. One of the main features inside the court building is this grand central staircase, which sits directly in front of you as you come in the main doors of the castle. Before, you would have come in from the side, but now the grandeur of them is revealed as you come up to them. We've taken carpets and screed off of them to reveal the original stone, which is all intact, so we can restore this back to how it once was. Coming up to the top of the grand staircase, and we reach this long corridor that runs the full length of the building. When we first came on board on the project, at the end of these corridors, it was blocked off by a toilet at one end and a printer at the other end. We've cleared out those spaces so you can see the full length again and see out the windows. We've also revealed the original timber dado panelling and original stone flag floors beneath my feet. And off that corridor, there are several rooms at first floor. This room in particular is a good example of a room that was actually subdivided into 7 or 8 different spaces when we first came to the project. In part of the enabling contract, we've cleared out all of those partitions to put it back to one single room as it was originally intended to be. And we've revealed, for example, this great stone vaulted arched roof, which we're going to restore, and the visitor will be able to experience this room as one big impressive space as it was always meant to be. This is the main courtroom in the South Tower, and it's largely how it was when it was built in 1836. It's the biggest space in the 2 buildings, double height, it's 11 metres to the ceiling. And in here we are looking to conserve the space, restore it, and make some subtle changes so that the public can enjoy it as a large visitor space as part of the visitor experience. Inverness Castle is positioned right in the town centre, and there's no better place to get a sense of that position than up on the roof. And from here you get this incredible 360-degree panorama right across the whole city. And as part of this project, we've worked really hard to design in a publicly accessible roof terrace. And that's going to happen just in the area behind me here, which sits over the front door of the castle and allows you to share the same view down the Great Glen that the Flora MacDonald statue looks to. In order to inform our design work for this project and how we approach that, is really to try and find out as much as we possibly can about the buildings. So we do that by surveying it ourselves, but also getting the help of specialists in to conduct specialist surveys.
I've been looking for interesting architectural decorations, so it's called architectural paint research. Looking around in the different spaces and trying to open up little windows, we call them exposure windows, trying to figure out what's happened and when it happened and how things have changed, and it's just really quite exciting.
We're stood now between the 2 buildings that make up Inverness Castle. So you've got the original courtroom, which we call the South Tower, and the North Tower, which was built as a prison and then converted later into offices. And this space is going to become enclosed by a new single-storey link building And the other interesting thing is the modern cell block, which was just behind me until recently, has now been demolished. And for the first time, we're seeing the original door openings on the back of the South Tower and the space as it's going to be in the new Link building. The North Tower is a very different building to the South Tower. South Tower was built as a courthouse and has lots of grand ceremonial spaces. And the North Tower, which was built 12 years later, is completely different. It was built as a prison and then later converted into office spaces and more court space. But being built as a prison, the spaces are a lot smaller and tighter, and it doesn't have the same grandeur about it. We're stood now in a room which would have originally been 4 prison cells. And through the works that we've done in enabling work, we've revealed original doors that would have come into the cells. And you can see here we've also lifted the floors to try and understand the spaces that are available below them for us to run services and so on. This is an example of one of the old cell doors that we've revealed that was covered over in plasterboard. And you can see that it's really tight, small space, and that was symptomatic of the whole building. You came into your cell block, the window was tiny, the bars were over the window, but we're going to try and keep these so that as you go around the building, you can read the story of how it used to be. The prison building was extended in 1900 to create more space for the courtroom. So contrary to these small cellular spaces that exist, there's one big space, and that's through here. We'll go and have a look at it. And this is the big courtroom that they extended the building to include. Up until recently, it was full of court furniture, witness boxes, jury boxes, and so on. We've taken all that out and revealed a really fine strip wooden floor. And now it's a fantastic space. And there's lots of opportunities here to hold functions, events, and so on. We're really looking forward to when people can actually come through the doors and enjoy the space. The present landscaping around Inverness Castle is really quite municipal. It's either grass or it's road. And the site as a whole, therefore, serves well below its potential as an amenity space for local residents and families. So part of our proposals will re-landscape the whole of the area around the castle, including the esplanade and the courtyards to the north and the east. Just over the wall that's behind me is where we're putting that new Link building. And so we're going to break a hole through that wall and make a new terrace out here that people can come and enjoy on a summer evening. Hope you've enjoyed this little behind the scenes tour of what we've been up to. You know, this project is going to be a real gateway project for the Highlands, and as a Highlander and an Inverness resident, I really do think that it's going to have a huge legacy, both for local residents, for people across the Highlands, and for all those people who come and visit us.